Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Wrestling Hub. My name is Conman167, and we just got finished watching WrestleMania Backlash. Oh boy, what a show, what a fun time. We're going to break it all down for you, starting right now with the pre-show. Up first, we had ourselves Dominic Mysterio, the real true talking point of the pre-show. Get a couch dumped on him. Literally, the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, dumped a freaking couch on Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic Mysterio. He's supposed to have a tag team title match later tonight. Is he going to be able to be in it? Who knows? That's the big talking point there from that little segment. But then we went on to our first and only pre-show match of the evening. Sheamus had an open challenge. He made it sound like it was going to be for his title, and then at the very last second, he's like, but it's not for my title. You have to earn it, because he's a big bad heel. So Sheamus puts an open challenge out there to anybody in the back, and Ricochet answers it. Still rocking his jeans, coming out in street clothes, looking like it was really impromptu. I kind of like that little detail. But yeah, a very good match between Sheamus and Ricochet. I was surprised that this was a non-title match, to be quite honest. Don't understand why it was. It should have been a title match because Ricochet still lost. Like, if you're going to put him in a non-title match, you might as well have the guy who's not the champion win, you know? Like, anyways, Ricochet got beat clean 1-2-3 by Sheamus, and then after the match, Ricochet stole his hat and his jacket, which pissed Sheamus off. I mean, WWE did the whole stealing of the crown thing on SmackDown with Nakamura, and I guess they really liked it because now they're having Sheamus get his stuff stolen, so that's that over there. Let's jump into the main card. Rhea Ripley versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. Very entertaining opening match. People in my live chat loved it while they were watching along. Very good stuff from these three. Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and of course Rhea Ripley are all three individuals who are massive to the women's division moving forward, and it's good to see the three of them get a really good spotlight match like they did at WrestleMania Backlash. Opening it up, the first match on the night was really good to see as well for these three women because you had Roman Reigns and Cesaro, which could have gone on first. You also had Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley, which could have gone on first. So yeah, that was the right call, I believe, because they really tore the house down right off the start. Beautiful moonsault from Charlotte Flair during the match. She breaks it out for all of her big matches, and she did so for this one. There was also a double superplex to Charlotte Flair, which looked really incredible from Rhea Ripley and from Asuka. Best match of Rhea Ripley's career on the main roster, in my opinion. Even better than Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania from a year ago. I truly believe that this was a standout victory for Rhea Ripley. One kind of negative from it is how often Asuka is losing. I don't want to see her constantly be the person who's being fed to people coming up the card, and she is in a very dangerous scenario where she could be on her way down the card. And there's some superstars who need some wins on their way up. So Asuka, she might be going on a bit of a losing streak, which you don't like to see for somebody who used to have a gigantic winning streak. So hopefully that's not the case, but Asuka starting to get into some dangerous territory. Up next, we had one of my favorite matches on the night. In fact, it was my favorite match until the main event. Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio going up against the Dirty Dogs. This thing started off with Rey Mysterio basically saying to Dom, you can't come out here. You're too hurt, dude. I'm going to try to go. I'm going to try to win us these championships. Let's see if Dad can take care of business. And it's the ultimate underdog. Rey Mysterio, 2-on-1 handicap match. One of the smallest people to ever be in WWE. You know what? It was a good story. I didn't think Rey had any chance when he went out there, but he fought hard. He fought real hard. In fact, he almost got many near falls during that match. Almost picked up the win, like, how many times? 4, 5, 6 times? It was actually incredible what Rey Mysterio pulled off in that match. But eventually, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, they pulled off a gigantic famouser. Huge famouser that turned the tides of this match. That thing, I really hope the editor throws it up here because that thing was so vicious looking. My goodness gracious. But yeah, at the end of it, after Rey Mysterio got hurt, beat down in the matchup, Dominic Mysterio came out holding his ribs. Remember, he had that couch thrown on him in the pre-show. Came out holding his ribs, and Rey Mysterio still refused to tag him in. He was beat down, but he didn't want to see his son be put in harm's way. Eventually, finally, Dominic Mysterio was tagged into the match, and it was just a matter of time before Dominic Mysterio hit the 5-star frog splash for the 1, 2, 3, and for the very first time in WWE history, we have ourselves a father and son tag team champion. I am so excited to see the future for these guys. This was absolutely the right call. Good to see it. Love to see WWE follow through on what was a very, very easy story to tell. Now, zombies. Zombies, zombies, zombies. Oh, and more zombies. And a zombie that looks like Elvis and more zombies. Yep. Lumberjack match with a bunch of zombies. So, from what I can understand with this, it's because of Batista's movie. It sponsored the pay-per-view, and there was a zombie Elvis. One more time for the people in the back. A zombie Elvis. All right, then. Anyways, this match was very quick. Really not too much to talk about. John Morrison came out during the match at one point, made the save for the Miz there, and ended up getting taken out by some zombies. They dragged him away. Yes, this is a real sentence that I'm saying. Can't believe it. Damian Priest hit the lights, his finisher for the 1, 2, 3, and then some zombies piled on top of Miz after Damian Priest left the ring. If there is anything that comes out of this thing, okay, I hope it's the Miz zombie. Just give me a zombie Miz, all right? If anything's going to come out of it, give me a zombie Miz. Also, a little note that was very interesting during WrestleMania Backlash. Hell in a Cell. June 20th. What? So Hell in a Cell no longer going to be an October pay-per-view, I guess, and it's going to fill June, which we thought was supposed to be Money in the Bank, and then apparently Money in the Bank is going to July. So, very interesting. Hell in a Cell. I wonder what the reasoning was. What do you think the reasoning is for WWE moving up Hell in a Cell all the way here to June? Let me know in the comments below. Up next, we had ourselves Bianca Belair versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And look, this match was fine, okay? It was what it was, but it was slow. And in a SmackDown Women's Championship match, you don't really want to see a slow-paced match unless, you know, it's built that way. And this match certainly was built to be a slow-paced match, and I do think that the match would have been better received if there had been live fans in the crowd. But, you know, from a technical standpoint, this match had nothing wrong with it. It was really, really solid. It was built around the idea that Bayley was going after the hair, once again, of Bianca Belair, similar to what Sasha Banks did at WrestleMania. Very solid story that way, but it just felt like everything missed. Even the finish of the match, Bianca Belair tried to roll up Bayley and lock her hair around her foot for the 1, 2, 3, and she just, it didn't lock in completely. The match was just okay, unfortunately. Nothing truly wrong with it, but also nothing truly great with it. So it's very unfortunate that Bianca Belair and Bayley put on just an okay match, but it was what it was. Then we got ourselves the Monday Night Raw triple threat between Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. This one, the build sucked. Straight up, the build sucked, but the match itself was hard-hitting, fun, and impressive. These were three big guys who just threw each other around the ring. There was nothing pretty about it, but seriously, it was really entertaining. Anytime you get those three giant men, there was almost 1,000 pounds worth of weight in the ring together. These guys just were big dudes throwing haymakers, bombs, and throwing each other through things. At one point, Bobby Lashley got driven through the LED screen by Drew McIntyre. Just sparks everywhere. Just boom, big boom, down he goes on the backside. And at that point, I thought Bobby Lashley wasn't getting back up to his feet. I legitimately thought Bobby Lashley was out of the match. But then Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman proceeded to tear the house down as they got back to the ring. And Braun Strowman ended up putting Drew McIntyre through the table. It was impressive, Braun Strowman lifting that big man up above his head. But then the finish of the match, very fun as well. Bobby Lashley was nowhere to be seen. Claymore boot from Drew McIntyre to Braun Strowman. And uh-oh, the WWE champion came out of nowhere, tossed him out to the side, and then Bobby Lashley hit his finish, the spear on Braun Strowman. 1, 2, 3, and still your WWE champion. A very hard-hitting match. Not my favorite on the night, but definitely one that you should check out if you missed it. And then getting to my favorite match of the night, the main event, Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. I called this coming into it. It was going to be stiff. It was going to be hard-hitting. It was going to be vicious, and it was not going to be a pretty match to watch. And these guys did all of that and more. Started out slow, but boy, did it build upon itself. Cesaro, biggest opportunity of his career, right in front of him, and he does not want to squander it. I don't have any complaints with this match. Cool spots in the match were where Roman Reigns was smiling at Cesaro, basically pissing Cesaro off, waking him up, but then Roman Reigns taking back over. There was also a deadlift superplex there, just straight up suplex, from Cesaro over his head into the ring. Again, the strength from Cesaro is amazing. And then also Roman Reigns got out of a sharpshooter and a crossface that had to have been locked in for about 2 minutes. It was a long time he was in it. Just good stuff from Roman Reigns. And then also from Cesaro breaking out of Roman Reigns' guillotine finish, ripping the hand away, but then Roman Reigns proving that he was just too strong. The hand cinches back in, and Cesaro passes out, and Roman Reigns picks up the win. Just really good stuff. I don't mean to be that guy who's over positive about everything, but I love this pay-per-view tonight. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. There was no real swerves. There was nothing like that. But when it came to the wrestling, when it came to the performers and the stories that were told, tonight killed it. They knocked it out of the park. But that wasn't even the finish of the night. No, Jey Uso came on down to the ring, put the lay around Roman Reigns' neck, and then he super kicks Cesaro, proceeds to beat him up a little bit. But to our surprise, Seth Rollins' music comes on. Rollins charges down to the ring in whatever drip that was he was wearing. Looked literally like there was paint dripping off of him. That's how much drip he had. And as he came on down to the ring, he stared down Roman Reigns. We're thinking we're going to get this setting up Hell in a Cell potentially. And then he proceeds to beat up Cesaro even more. That's the end of the pay-per-view. Really fun show. But of course, this is just my opinion, right? And this is all of our opinions. I want to hear from all of you down in the comments below. So make sure you do leave that once again in the comments below. Also, make sure you leave a like on this video, making sure you're subscribed to this channel, and you can come on over to my channel, Conman167, if you want to check out our live streams and our live reactions to the shows. Every single time WWE is live, I am live. So go check that out. But that is it, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you had yourself a wonderful time watching WrestleMania Backlash. I've been Con, and that was, well, once again, WrestleMania Backlash.